Good day, children. We are going to see about EVS chapter 6, Every Drop Counts. Children, the title of the lesson, Every Drop Counts, shows that every drop of water is very important. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about importance of water in our environment, sources of water, identify the ways to save water for future generation, rainwater harvesting, and how people get water from different sources and the problems they faces. Let's see about water. Water is a substance composed of the chemical elements hydrogen and oxygen. It is an inorganic, transparent chemical substance. It exists in gaseous, liquid, and solid states. It is one of the most plentiful and essential of compounds. It is tasteless and odorless liquid at room temperature. It dissolves in other substances. Chemical formula of water. Its chemical formula H2O indicates that each of its molecules contains one oxygen and two hydrogen atoms connected by covalent bonds. The formula of water is H2O. Water is the name of the liquid state of H2O at standard condition for temperature and pressure. Fun facts about water. Human body contains 66% of water. A living tree is about 75% of water. And almost 80% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Long ago. This is a picture of Gatsi Sar. Sar means a lake. King Gatsi of Jaisalmer got it made 650 years ago with the help of the people. All around the lake there are ghats with steps leading to the water, decorated verandas, large halls, rooms and much more. People came here to celebrate festivals and for program of music and dance. Children came to study in the school on the ghat. The talab belonged to everyone and everyone took care to keep it clean. Children, talab means a pond. Rainwater collected in this lake spread over many miles. It was made in such a way that when the lake was full, the extra water flowed into another lake at a lower level. When that too filled up, the extra water flowed into the third lake, and so on, filling up 9 such interconnected lakes. The collected rainwater could be used throughout the year, and there was no shortage of water. But today, Gatsisar is no more in use. Many new buildings and colonies have come up in between those 9 lakes. Now, the water does not get collected in these lakes but just flows away and is wasted. Through the eyes of Al-Biruni. More than 1,000 years ago, a traveler came to India. His name was Al-Biruni. The place that he came from is now called Uzbekistan. Al-Biruni carefully observed and noted down the details of all that he saw. He wrote especially about those things that he found very different from his own country. Here is a part of what he wrote about the ponds of that time. The people here are very skilled at making ponds. My countrymen would be surprised to see them. They pile up huge rocks and join them with iron rod to build chabutras, raised platform, all around the lake. Between these, there are rows of long staircases going up and down. The steps for going up and coming down are separated, so there is less crowding. Today, when we study history, we can learn a lot about those days from the writing of Al-Biruni. The stamp came out in 1973, 1000 years after his birth. Drop by drop. Besides Jaisalmer, many places in Rajasthan get very little rainfall. Here it rains for only 10 to 12 days in the entire year, sometimes not even that much. The rivers here do not have water in them all around the year, and yet most of the villagers in these areas did not have a shortage of water. People knew that every drop of water was precious. Lakes and johars were made to collect these precious drops of water. Water was everyone's need. One and all came together in this work, be it a businessman or a laborer. Some water from the lakes soaked into the ground and reached the wells and baths, that is step well, in that area. The soil of the area also became wet and fertile. Children, Johars is a pond. Every house has a system to collect the rainwater. Look at this picture. How do you think the rainwater that falls on the roof will reach the underground tank? Draw the path. Children, have you ever seen a step well? Look at the picture. Can you imagine by looking at the picture that the steps go down several stories deep? Instead of drawing the water up from the well, the people could go down the steps and reach the water. That is why they are called step wells. Let's see about rainwater harvesting. Children, rainwater harvesting is a method used for collecting, storing and using rainwater for various purposes. The term rainwater harvesting is usually taken to mean the immediate collection of rainwater running off surfaces upon which it has fallen directly. This definition excludes runoff from land watersheds into streams, rivers, lakes, etc. Hence, it is the catching of rainwater when it falls and storing to use during the non-rainy season. Technology of rainwater harvesting. It can be divided according to the purpose and the source of collecting water. There are two methods in rainwater harvesting. That is rooftop harvesting and the other one is runoff harvesting. These methods can be selected considering the purpose and the type and the quantity of storage, catchment state, etc. Rooftop harvesting. This method includes the catchment area as the roof top in rural and urban area. This includes rooftop of houses, flats, factories, offices and complexes. Runoff harvesting. Here the runoff water is collected. Gardens, driveways, landscapes, open fields, parks, roads and pavements and other open areas of the environment can be used to harvest the rainwater runoff. Using this method, it is possible to collect water from a larger area. This is particularly advantageous in areas of low rainfall. Importance of rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting plays an important role in agriculture, useful for urban areas. It is important to save the water for the future. Thus, it is important to improve rainwater harvesting through technical and financial prospects. Next, we see about customs related to water or tradition related to water. Even today, people get water from very old lakes, daras, step wells, and navlas. Daras and navlas are tradition water harvesting system, that is naturally occurring water aquifer. It is a stone lined tank which catches dripping water from springs and streams. Many customs and festivals are related to water. At some places, whenever lakes get filled up with rainwater, the people gather around the lake to celebrate. See the bride of Uttarakhand in this picture. After getting married, she has come to the new village. She bows to the spring or the pond. In cities, one can see an interesting form of this custom. The new bride worships the tap in her home. Can we imagine life without water? Do you have some special pots for water at your place? Look, water is being filled in this beautiful copper pot. The shining yellow pot of brass is seen in the other picture. Many stone carvings are also made near the place of drinking water. Have you ever seen any beautiful buildings near the place of water? Where? And children, did you know the benefits of drinking water in copper pots? Yes, copper can kill harmful bacteria and reduce inflammation in the stomach. Storing and drinking water in a copper pot or copper vessel could improve your immune system also. Think over it. In 1986, there was no rain in Jodhpur and the surrounding areas. People remembered the old and forgotten step well. They cleaned the step well and more than 200 trucks of garbage was taken out of it. People of the area collected money. The thirsty town got water from the step well. After a few years, it rained well and again the step well was forgotten. Let's see the role of water in the ecosystem. Ecosystems are distinct biological societies made up of biotic and abiotic. Biotic living elements like plants, animals, and organisms and the physical environment. The abiotic components are such as soil, water, air, sunlight, and climate. The role and function of water in the ecosystem is to provide the lifeblood of the community. Water links and maintains all ecosystem on the planet. The main function of water is to propel plant growth, provide a permanent dwelling for species that live within it, or provide a temporary home or breeding ground for multiple amphibians, insects and other water-birthed organisms, and to provide the nutrients and minerals necessary to sustain physical life. As nature's most important nutrient, people need water to survive. Discuss. There are two old wells in the area where Punita lives. Her grandmother says that about 15 20 years ago, there was water in these wells. The wells could have dried up because water is being pumped up from under the ground with the help of electric motors. The lakes in which rainwater used to collect are no longer there. The soil around trees and park is now covered with cement. Is there some other reason for this? Explain. Children, today lake is no more in use. Many new buildings and colonies have come up in between the lakes. Now the water does not get collected in these lakes but just flow away is wasted. The wells have dried up because water is being pumped up from deep under the ground with the help of electric motors. The story today. Let us see the different ways in which people manage water today. See page number 57 and discuss. Do you get water in your house by any of these ways? Put a tick on that. If you get water by some other way, write in your notebook. First picture, a Jalbord water tanker comes to our colony twice a day. Children, Jalbord is a water supply board. We have to stand in a long queue to get water from the tanker. People at times have fights over water. We fill water from the well. The nearby well dried up a year ago. Now we have to walk far to reach the other well. We are not allowed to take water from some of the wells because of our caste. Children, do you think it's right? No, definitely it's not right because we all are human beings. We all are same. We should not discriminate people by caste. We all are equal. Everyone has rights. So we should respect every human beings. In this third picture, we get water at home for half an hour. We fill this in the tank to use all day. Sometimes it is dirty. We get water from our taps all day long. There is a hand pump nearby, but the water that we get from it is salty. We have to buy water for drinking. We have put a pump directly in the Jalbord pipeline. Now we don't have any problem. We have put a motor to pump up the water from the borewell, but there is no electricity. So what do? We get water from the canal itself. So children, this is how we get water. Let's see, where does water come from? Water is everywhere on earth. The clouds, the rain, the oceans and rivers, even our own bodies. Where all that water originally came from is a bit of a mystery. Sources of water. Children, water falls from the sky as rain and fills up ocean, seas, lakes and pond. It is also found deep under the ground. These all are called natural source of water. And dams, wells, tube wells, hand pump and canals are man-made resource of water. Community water systems obtain water from two sources, that is surface water and groundwater. People use surface and groundwater every day for a variety of purposes, including drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene in addition to recreational, agricultural, and industrial activities. Surface water. Surface water is a water that collects on the ground or in a stream, river, lake, reservoir, or ocean. Surface water is constantly replenished through precipitation and lost through evaporation and seepage into groundwater supplies. Groundwater. Groundwater, which is obtained by drilling wells, is water located below the ground surface in pores and spaces in the rock. The water cycle. Let's talk about water cycle in detail. First is evaporation. It happens when liquid water changes to a gaseous state as a vapor. The second is transpiration. It represents evaporation of water from plant and tree roots into the atmosphere. The next is sublimation. It describes how snow and ice change to water vapor without become liquid. Next is condensation. It happens when water vapor becomes water droplets via cloud formation. Next is transportation. It defines how water moves through the atmosphere in its solid, liquid, or gaseous form. Precipitation is the water that falls to the planet as ice, rain, snow, sleet, etc. Deposition. Deposition is how water vapor changes to a solid state without becoming liquid like frost. Infiltration. Infiltration defines how water seeps into the ground and then percolates into the water table. Surface flow. It describes how river, lakes and stream flow to the ocean along with underground aquifer. And the last is plant uptake. It explains that plants only use 1% of the water pulled in by their roots while the rest goes back into the atmosphere. Plant uptake. Let's discuss. Everyone has the right to live. Yet, is everybody getting enough water to live or even water to drink? Why is it that some people have to buy drinking water? Should it be like this? Water on this earth is for one and all. Some people draw out water from the ground by deep bore wells. How far it is correct? Have you ever seen this? Why do some people put a pump directly in the jarboard pipeline? What problems would other people face due to this? Do you have any such experience? Children, this is water bill. Some people have to buy drinking water because in their area some of people have shortage of water or some other problems like they have only salty water or uncleared water or dirty water. So these all are the reason they do pay for water. It can be done. There are some groups that work hard to bring water to the people of different areas. They ask the elders about the water arrangement in their times. They rebuild the old lakes and johars and also build new ones. Let us see how the group called Tarun Bharat Sangha helped Darki Mai. This is Darki Mai. She lives in a village in Alwar district of Rajasthan. The women of the village used to spend the entire day looking after their home and animals. Sometimes it took them all night to pull water from the well for the animals. In the summer, when the wells dried up, they had to leave the village. Darky Mai heard about this group and asked for help. Together, the people from the group and the village decided to make a lake. The problem of food and water for animals is now less. People get more milk, they have started earning more. Save water. 5 easy way water saving tips. Wash laundry and dishes with full loads. Always turn off running water. Take shorter showers. Eliminate any and all leaks. Reduce the flow of toilets and shower heads. Always save clean running water. Collect water in buckets while waiting for shower water to warm. Use it for watering indoor plants, mopping the floor, household chores. Grey water. Before reusing water or using grey water from bathtubs, showers, sinks, and washing machines, contact your local health department. Several communities do not allow the use of grey water. What we have learned. So children, from this lesson we have learned water on the earth is for one and all. To solve the water scarcity, we should rebuild the old lakes and step wells and also build new ones. Every house should have rainwater harvesting system and identify the ways to save water, and we all have pledged to save water. Activity. Children, make a poster. Do you remember the slogan? Water on the earth is for one and all. Think of some other such slogans, draw pictures and make a nice poster. Thank you, children.